Personally, I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm glad everyone's here. Glad to get out of the hotel, get used to everything, getting on the flow of everything, get used to school, and get used to the new practice schedule.
With school back in session and camp over, how are you as a senior kind of taking over some of these freshmen and advising them how to just handle the schedule?
I just tell them, just enjoy your classes, go through your classes, don't let it clutter you up, and then when it's time for football, focus on football. But when it's time for school, just focus on school. Don't try to do too much at once, because then you'll just mess up everywhere.
Do you think the energy kind of changes in practice when school's back in session? Does it feel any different?
Well, sometimes it's harder for the young guys to adjust because they go through a whole day of class, and then now they have to come to football. So it's kind of hard for them to switch their brains over to football and then switch it over to class, and sometimes they're tired. So it's going to be a little bit for those guys, but for the guys that's been here, it's really easy.
You guys have been practicing now for almost 2 weeks. So when you look at the secondary as a whole, is there anything about it that's kind of surprised you in a good way since you started? You weren't expecting that you maybe know more, feel better about this group than you did when you first started?
I feel a lot better about if one guy goes down, we have someone to plug him in. In all areas, everyone can really play anywhere on that field. And it's not only about depth, we have people that know what to do in that depth.
Even the freshmen?
Even the freshmen.
I mean, how much is that part of it surprise you technology?
But I think it's really part of just those guys early roll in. When they're early roll in, that gives them a step ahead, and that's helped them a lot.
I mean, of course, not having DeAndre here, that's a whole, but is it part about those young guys that kind of got you feeling better about the prognosis, whatever?
Yeah, the young guys are doing good, but the guys that have been here are doing a really good job too. And the young guys are falling in line. They're learning from us. They're seeing how we work. And so everyone's pushing each other. We got a lot of guys that can just go in. If one person's down, it's not going to be a drop-off.
What's the biggest strength? Like you kind of talked about some of these young guys. What's kind of, go down the list a little bit, some of the strengths that you like in them and kind of what they're bringing to the team?
Honestly, all of them are really fast and they really compete really well. And that's one thing you can't teach, is they're just the way they compete and the way they run to the ball. And just their football IQ and their knack for the ball to make plays is something I see out of them a lot.
How much you enjoying being the old man, I guess?
It's fun. It's fun. You got to monitor them. You always got to get on to them. So you always got to come up there with a positive attitude.
When you say you've got to get on them from time to time, what kind of things are you getting them about?
Just, not being down if they mess up on a play. That's one thing you do. You got to be the next play. You got to focus on what's next, because if you get down, they'll start targeting you. Then the plays start to just spiral all the way down. So just focusing on those guys making the next plays.
How did you kind of get over that as a young player yourself? Back in the day, if you gave up a big play to let it go.
Oh, it's just one of the things my dad taught me, especially playing DB. You got to have a short-term memory. You're going to get beat. You're going to give up plays. That's one thing you don't want to do, but you got to just focus on the next one.
You mentioned the depth earlier, just kind of the plug and play. You've been around for many years in this program now. How much deeper is the team now than maybe when you first showed up here?
It's just so much deeper to where, like I said before, we got guys that can play both safeties, star position, and a corner, to where if one person goes down, we don't have to worry about who we're going to put in. They just go right in, and I feel comfortable with playing back there with anybody.
Overall, is the athleticism, you think, in secondary better than last year?
Definitely the depth is better, the athleticism is there. I'll just say the knack for the ball and the guys' big playability is there a lot more than we had last year.
And of course, they're creating havoc is something we talked about.
Yeah, the Havoc Rate's out the roof right now.
How so?
How so? I mean, the interceptions of this last scrimmage and turnovers of this last scrimmage we've never had in 2 years, so that's a big jump.
How many takes did y'all have in the scrimmage?
I don't know, but I know that when I looked at it and compared, I said, man, we haven't had this in a while.
Is there anything else besides the Havoc Rate that Coach Lanning kind of emphasizes through the spring practice and now a couple weeks into fall?
Effort, man. Effort and running to the ball, and that knocks away a lot of bad plays that you make. It knocks away a lot of mistakes. If we can just get everyone running to the ball, one guy misses a tackle, but there's people right there that clean them up, it knocks away that mistake.
How drastic does the whole emphasis on Havoc seem like? Because Kirby's always said that first priority is stop the run, but it seems, even I think he's saying publicly now, maybe it's more about being aggressive.
Well, we have goals. We have set goals, so we got Havoc, we got stop the run, and those are the things that we focus on. So it's not one's above another or this one's above that. It's just one of our goals that we've been focusing on, and so stopping the run is, the priority. We got to do that. And then we talk about Havoc every day. We talk about those two things every day in our defensive meeting room. I kid you not, literally every day we stand up, we chart how many yards we give up, we talk about Havoc every day.
Is there any sense that y'all weren't aggressive enough the last couple of years?
It's not that. It's just, you got to evaluate yourself each year and see where you can improve. And we definitely can improve in that area.
What about the pieces available now to create that havoc with some of the newcomers on the edge? Have you noticed their skill set is being pretty special?
Yeah, Aziz Ojolari, Nolan, and all those outside linebackers like Walter, Robert Bill, and all those guys, Jermaine, Adam Anderson, they feed off each other, and you can tell that they have a lot of effort to the ball. They each individually have their own talents, and they're doing a really good job.
We've all seen it by now, George Pickens catch in the scrimmage. What were your thoughts on that? And we're kind of hearing that maybe kind of a normal thing for him during practice.
Yeah, most definitely. George is, a really good player for us. Young guy. He does make a lot of spectacular catches, man. But that was a really nice catch. I didn't see it out there on the field. I was actually talking to the DBs, but when I saw it, it's crazy.
Thanks, Joe.
I know you don't play the star, but you kind of oversee it a little bit. What does Mark Webb bring to the position compared to I guess Mo Smith was the first one here, and Kirby, you were redshirting, and Aaron Davis, and then last year?
Mark's is very physical. He's very physical, and that's one of the things we like, having him out there, his physicality, and he can cover. So that's one of the things that you're going to need at the star position. He's almost like perfect for the star position.
Why did, not to hear like some sort of football historian, but like the star has become basically its own position over the years when you're playing against all these offenses, right?
Well, you got to be a nickel. You got to have 5 DBs on the field because everyone's going 11, everyone's going 10. No one's going 13, 12. No one's doing all that anymore like that. So you got to have a star. You got to have someone that can be physical, play the run, and cover. And so that's very rare to find. I think Mike Webb has that talent.
It's not as simple. I'm not asking you to put your coaching hat on, but it's not as simple as saying, all right, these are our 3 best cornerbacks. The third one is the nickel back.
No. Some corners can't play stars. Some stars can't play corner. I mean, most stars can play corner, but not all corners can play stars. Let's put it like that. Stars like something you have to have. It has to be in you to play star. And so the guys that do play star, they're hybrids. They can do corner, they can do safety, they can do basically every position on the field because it requires you to do that.
And Webb, from everything I've heard, is really good at that, particularly when the nickel becomes a money and is involved a lot in that. What makes Webb good in particular?
His physicality and ability to cover. Definitely, you got to be physical because at star you'll be going against tight ends sometimes, so you got to be able to get off blocks on the perimeter, and then you might be going against a slot receiver like D-Rob that's very fast. You have to be able to cover. So to do those 2 things, this makes you very good.
JR, as you work with Charlton Warren and everything here over the fall, how does his background being in the military and having an accent, how does he translate that into his job with football and like you guys?
He's a technician, and that's one of the things I noticed from him is he's very technique, and everything you do has a technique, and he pays attention to the little details, and that's what I like about him. It's just the little details, and he's a very good technician.
Do you have a favorite anecdote or memory, I guess, with him coaching you all out on the practice field?
I don't have a favorite one yet.
Okay.
Not one yet.
On kind of on the same discussion as Star is Walter Grant's position, kind of the Sam outside linebacker has almost gone away in some ways, and they've scrambled to kind of find a place for Walter to fit in because he's such a good athlete. What can you say about Walter and how he's trying to fit in, where he's going to fit in?
I can say Walter does anything for the team, man. I mean, you guys saw him playing that star position that was Lorenzo played it. He covered for us last year. You saw him play running back in the spring. I'm saying Walter's a good guy, man, good friend to have. Not only a teammate on the field, but a teammate off the field. He'll do anything for his team and his teammates.
Did you ever have to tackle him while he was in his running?
No, I did not.
That wouldn't have been.
I would have knocked him out if so.